Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM, brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And I'm just checking to make sure Gene Smith is awake. Oh, there he was. That was him. And, of course, Dave Smith. No, Dave Smith down there in Enid. Hey, Dave Smith, how you doing down there, Dave?
I'm doing. How's Gene Gabbard doing over
Gene Gabbard's doing okay.
Gene Gabbard doing good.
Dave Gabbard, of course, down in Enid, and well, after 21 years of doing this, sometimes we kind of mess up a little bit around here. But
first time, I thought.
I think it is the first time, but we try to devote a lot of information about the TWRA because that's close to our heart, and it's close to being part of as a show for so many years. And we have talked about deer processing earlier in the show, about today being opening day for deer season in the CWD units over here in West Tennessee. Of course, it's black powder for the rest of the state, but and you can use your black powder today in your bow, whatever you want to. But this is November the 6th, and we're opening day. And no, I will not be in the stand today, but I will be Monday. But wanted to get to talk a little bit because we've talked so much about chronic wasting disease, CWD, for several years, and I'm really happy to have on today's show a person that has dealt with this. She's a long time, grew up in Colorado, went to school in Colorado, came from Colorado about a year and a half years ago to come down and join the TWRA, and she's currently the Assistant Chief, Game Species section of the Wildlife and Forestry Division. And let's talk CWD with Stephanie Karns. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning, everybody.
And let's
thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
I hope everybody's sitting in their stands right now, enjoying the season.
Well, some of them they should be, and I should be, but I'm not. I used to try. How many years did I try to kill a deer on the radio?
1,200.
I don't know, but I tried to do it.
Oh, what was cool is the deer whisperer.
I was the whisperer
that
out
was
there.
So cool.
I've killed them 15 minutes after we've gone off the
I
air.
told him just shoot the gun. Nobody know the difference.
Well,
he's too honest.
Well, anyway, so I'm not. I'm here. And Stephanie, I know recently back in September, here comes some additions to what's going on in Henry and Weakley counties, and recently TWRA, which I posted on my Facebook page, a little bit of confusion about certain things. But bring us up to date first on the addition of Henry and Weakley County, because they're not like our other counties. So talk a little bit about that.
So back in late August, early September, we got a call from a landowner that there was a deer that was behaving strangely and looked sick. So when we got it tested, it did come back positive for chronic wasting disease, and that was in Henry County, and the location was within 10 miles of Weakley County, which made Weakley County be high risk. So that means Henry is CWD positive and Weakley County is CWD high risk. And it was also within 10 miles of Kentucky, and so it triggered Kentucky's CWD response.
Yes, So now the rules are from Henry County. I know we've got some people that listen up in that area. Can I take a deer from Henry County back to East Tennessee, Kentucky, or Dyer County to get it processed? No.
No, you can't.
No, you cannot. Okay, that's one of the stipulations that you need to know about on these things. And it's the same way for Weakley County, right? I mean, you can take a deer to Henry County for processing or taxidermy, but you can't take a deer out of that to one of the other counties. So it's
Better read
it's
your
a
hunting
little
guide.
confusing, but the intention is to stop the spread of prions through the environment.
Right.
And so when you think about that, when you think about it with that lens, it's a little easier to understand. You don't want to be taking stuff from a positive county to somewhere that's just high risk.
Yes.
And then you certainly don't want to take it where we haven't detected CWD.
Now this, and the one that they found, the doe they found, I was kind of interested. It was 3.5 years old, is what I've been told. I wonder how long had it had CWD? I mean, has it had it for a year or 2 years. Is there any way to determine that, or do we know that it just happened this? Because somebody could have shot it last year when it was 2.5. I don't know.
That's for sure. CWD is a very slow-moving disease, and animals can be infected for as long as 2 years before they even
what I
start.
thought. Yeah, yeah, that's what
So
I thought.
that animal, could have been infected for quite a while.
So, but I know that when we received that, and we've got our 11 counties that we've been that we call the CWD unit down here. The season opening today. You guys will be out, I'm assuming, today, and you will also be out November 20th, when is the normal time. We would normally open the deer season with gun, so that you'll be located different places, right?
Yeah, both weekends. We've got folks out in force all over Unit CWD. So with check stations so that people can get their heads tested if they want to, get more information, that kind of thing. There's a huge long list, too many to name.
Oh, yeah, but they'll be out there. They'll be out there today and on the 20th, the day being November the 6th and then back on November the 20th. And, again, we're talking to Stephanie Karns. And, folks, you can go to cwdintennessee.com. That's where I go. To make sure you get all the updates on CWD. And I know, Stephanie, being from Colorado, you were very familiar with this disease when you came from Colorado, and you've come to Tennessee now. How are we doing? I mean, it's a tough battle to fight.
It is a tough battle to fight. The area around Fayette and Hardeman County definitely has a very high prevalence. When we first detected it in 2018, that was the first year we used a really robust surveillance system statewide that is designed to detect new introductions. And unfortunately, what it showed us was that was not a new introduction.
No.
There's very high prevalence. But the good news is because of that surveillance system, we should be detecting new introductions at very low levels. So we don't anticipate finding any other places with prevalence like the Fayette and Hardeman County line.
Well, that's where I hunt, and a lot of my listeners hunt, and and I know I'm seeing deer everywhere. I mean, I think it's going to be a great season. I'm seeing them, Dave, and you know that as a former officer, I'm seeing them out there with dark. I mean, their coat is already dark. And and I'm always thinking, hey, this is going to be a winner.
The red deer have done less.
They have. That's right. They have. And when we get down to this, so you were talking to me before we went on the air, Stephanie, about some rumors floating around. Why don't you update our folks on that's listening in?
Oh, thank you for that. We are partnering with Wildlife Services to remove deer in the areas around newly affected areas with CWD.
Yes.
So areas that are further than 10 miles from the nearest other positive. And it's a program called Targeted Removal. It's been very successful in other states, and it's one of the best management tools that we have. And it's entirely a partnership with landowners. We only work with landowners who are willing, and they have to give written consent to participate in the program. I think there's some folks out there that have heard that that we don't have to get permission, but this really is a partnership, and we are so grateful to the landowners last year who let us work with them, and they're the ones supporting CWD management in working with that. Yeah.
They have to do that. And so, folks, you've heard it straight from Stephanie there that this is a program that involves the landowner's participation, which doesn't mean that you can open the door and go in their field. Okay, I mean, this is the permission is still part of that, and at the same time, I've got to ask you now: are you looking for a good season? I mean, what are you hearing?
I think so. every indication is that it should be a good season. I don't think we'll have the same harvest that we had last year. We had a huge harvest because of COVID.
Yes,
Folks
we did.
were
Yeah.
staying at home. I don't think we'll see it quite that high. The earlier seasons, the August hunt and then archery so far have been down, but that's to be expected because last year was so high.
Well, I know that. Yeah, what you got, David?
I just have a quick question. I know at one time they had plans down in the Fayette County area to, locate incinerator to handle CWD infected carcasses. Is that still on the drawing board, or
that is still on the drawing board? We're in the process right now. We've actually selected a different location that's more central to the rest of the area. But yes, that's
good deal.
Disposal of carcasses is tricky because those prions, which are the infectious agent, stay in the environment.
Yes.
And so cremation above 1,000 degrees Celsius is effective at deactivating the prions. So
this person,
we're working on it.
She knows what she's talking about, folks. Did you hear her just pop those things off the top of her head? That's pretty impressive. I'm serious on that. We really appreciate you, Stephanie, being with us this morning on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And again, folks, have a safe hunting experience this weekend, whatever. And Stephanie, we will say we talked to our local deer processor. It was a great young sportsman's hunt last weekend. So when I hear that makes us think, well, we're going to have a good year. So we want those youth out there to participate and learn the great value of the outdoors.
Amen to that.
Yes. Stephanie, thank you. Have a great weekend. And we'll talk to you hopefully in December that maybe we'll get some more news coming out of the TWRA. How about that, okay?
That sounds great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you,
on.
Stephanie.
Good luck to everybody.
All right. Thank you. All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray and be right back.